Maundy Thursday was the last day Jesus had with his disciples before he was arrested. He got them together for a meal, and that meal where he actually broke some bread and shared some wine, saying, "This is my body, this is my blood. Remember me when you do this again in the future, because it's the last time I'm going to do this with you now." And then when they had that meal together, Jesus knew he was going to be betrayed. They went into a garden. He was alone for a short time. His disciples fell asleep. They couldn't stand by him. And then one of his disciples, Judas, brought the temple authorities to arrest him. There was nothing to mark Jesus out. He looked like his disciples, in fact. And so Judas had to pick him out to the temple authorities with a simple kiss. He was then taken, arrested. His trial followed overnight, and then he died the following day. It's a very important day for us because we remember that this is what love is like. He gave us a meal to remember him by. And if you think of the Last Supper that you have with a person that you love, that's going to stay in your mind for the rest of your life. Well, that's what it's like for Jesus' friends and followers. More than that, he showed us how to love one another. And in one account of the meal, he takes the form of a servant or a slave and does what nobody expects him to do. He washes his disciples' feet. And their feet are dirty, grimy. They've been walking the streets of Jerusalem, perhaps just in pairs of sandals, but nothing else. The last thing they expect their master, their teacher, to do is to just put a towel around him, take his clothes off otherwise, and just wash their feet and do what the simple servant would do. But he said, "I did this for you, now you do it for one another." That's what love is like. And so the simple way of remembering what Maundy Thursday is about is to say, this is what love is like. We see it in history, we see it in a meal, we see it in the relationships that he had with those around him, but we also remember there was a dark time ahead when he was going to face betrayal, execution, but also the tremendous hope of what followed, when we also remember that he rose again from the dead just a few days later. So for me tonight, this is actually going to be the most important part of what lies ahead, because this is what he gave us to remember him by.
When you went out earlier today asking people about Maundy Thursday, nobody really knew any details. Are you surprised at the level of ignorance about Christianity these days?
No, I'm not surprised. It's not taught as the only thing for people to learn about when dealing with faith. There are many other faith communities and traditions to learn about in secular society today, and unless you come to church or you are part of the wider culture of the area, you're not going to learn an awful lot about the detail. And it's important for people here to keep remembering that we have got to keep telling the story, because it's such an important story for us, yet if we don't keep telling the story, nobody's going to hear it.